Frank, a bit chilly tonight, but I say Billy Joe warmed the cockles, I guess.
He certainly did. I mean, it was just a continuation of the Lemieux fight. That's how he boxed, and going up a weight, fighting a guy who was quite a strong super middleweight. Obviously has competed, as we mentioned before, at cruiserweight, light heavyweight, and finally came down. It was a master boxing class, but the fellow was always dangerous, and he did clip him. He caught him with a shot, but I think that fellow was more of a threat to him than Lemieux was, to be quite honest.
He was absolutely befuddled, certainly in the first half of the fight, Isufi. But like I say, he landed that shot in the sixth, and that sort of put Bill on his guard a little bit, and then he was more cautious after that point.
Yeah, I think he caught him. He caught him with a right hand. He followed up with another one, just half caught him. But I just think that he had to do what he had to do. The objective there was to win the title and get the ring rust out. I mean, that's the first fight. I think look at that thing before Christmas, because Bill Weight was a cruiserweight. I think going into that one, it was just like you just asked for a fight. And I think we announced it a week before the fight, didn't we? That he was on. So he's not had a competitive fight since December 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2017. So that's nearly what's that now? That's sort of 18 months or so out the ring. That's a long time out, and then to move straight up again. So he's done extremely well, and he's become only he's the 12th man to win a double
two-weight world champion.
Yeah, so he's done brilliantly.
The old rust, as you mentioned, 18 months out, it didn't show, did it?
No, it didn't. He was very sharp, certainly in the first half of the fight. Very, very sharp.
When you see him like that, you do wonder who can live with him on his night.
Well, that's the problem I think that we have, is people getting into the ring with him. I just don't see them fancy him. He's got great footwork, and his footwork is superb. He's got great anticipation, reflexes, and fast hands. He's a bit of a nightmare for most people he fights. Very difficult to catch cleanly. If you throwing punches, he's very elusive, and he's got a fantastic boxing brain.
From what I understand, though, Bill's no longer sort of hung up on certain names in terms of fighting. He just now wants to keep active and keep busy.
We want to get him out 3 times this year, and that's another 2 times this year. So that's the objective.
It was a good move coming here, wasn't it, Stevenage Football Club? It was a smashing atmosphere. Everything fell into place.
I would like to think that I'm a genius in doing that, but the truth of the matter was we couldn't get another venue, so that's why we came here. But it worked out very well, and obviously the weather, the rain kept off. That was a bit of worry this week, because we had a few days of rain, but it was a bit chilly. But anyway, I thought the fight warmed everybody up. The undercard was really good, and there's some really good fights on the undercard. I was really pissed off with Boxing News talking about it being a 2-star event. I mean, that is an insult, I think, to the fighters.
We'll talk about the undercard just briefly, Frank. I mean, to start off with Joyce. He was a bit slippery in the first round, but he sort of got back to his normal self in the second round.
He did, didn't he? I think he was showing a bit of moves, a bit of an Adam Booth influence in the first round, and then, as you say, then got back to it and got down to business. He's a tough man, Ustinov. He's a big lump. He keeps himself physically fit and physically well, and it was a good stoppage for a guy at the end of the day. He's only had 8 pro fights. It was a good win for him.
Full steam ahead for July 13 now?
He's on the 13th, and we're going to sort the opponent out and announce it next week.
Great stuff. British Super Bantamweight title, Brad Foster, Ash Lane. I mean, what a smashing performance.
It was a cracking fight. It was, as you say, British and Commonwealth for somebody who's only had 11 fights and one. Was that his 12th fight? Yeah. That was his 12th fight, and he's now British and Commonwealth champion with no amateur experience as a boxer.
He can box though, can't he?
He can box. He's got a good boxing brain, and I thought the last round, I thought when he had to turn it on, he did, didn't he? That right hand, he caught him a few times right hand, but he didn't fight enough. But the last round, I think the penny drops, and then he clipped him, and then obviously done a great job in stopping him.
Maybe a sort of a little bit of killer instinct. He maybe could have got him out there earlier. It was almost like the fella had to wind him up at the end of the 11th, and then all of a sudden he goes in and he goes for the jugular.
Well, I think another thing about it though, that is not a bad thing to get those type of rounds under your belt when you've not had the experience. So that stand him in good stead. But it was a cracking finish, and I would say everybody was happy with it.
Got to ask you, as debuts go, Dennis McCann.
Well, Dennis the Menace, he's on the road, isn't he? He's obviously a tremendous prospect, and that's what he is at the moment, prospect. We're not going to be chasing it, rushing him into anything. But he's a phenomenal puncher. He's a really good puncher, and his debuts go, as you said, that don't get no better than that. I want to keep him busy. I want him to get experience. He's only a young lad. He's 19 now, I think he is.
18, 19,
18 or 19. He's a young lad, but he is going to be some fighter. If he keeps doing that, it's a continuation of what he's been doing in the amateurs, because I think he's knocked over 17 on the spin. So that's now 18 on the spin now, so it's not a bad record, is it?
You don't normally see that sort of spite at those small weights, do you?
No, you don't, and I'll tell you what, he enjoys it. He's got a bit of naz about him. Yeah. He enjoys, it's like the hurtfulness of it, he enjoys it.
One little downside, Boy Jones, Ben, didn't get his World Youth title. I mean, it was I don't know, you could argue decision.
I didn't get, we were stuck out doing some links, so I missed it.
Disappointing all the same, I guess.
Yeah, for him it is. He's a lovely kid, he's a nice kid, but it's just a shame for him.
Frank, it was a smashing evening. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Yes.